It turns out that box had quite a few sets in it. Hello everybody, welcome to Brickognize, the home of vintage Lego here on YouTube. I am Lewis and welcome to a wonderful Swedish sunrise. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, -6, but it was a beautiful morning this morning and I really enjoy waking up to that kind of, the sun just peeking up and the under part of the clouds are just glowing red and orange and peach and it's a wonderful way to wake up in the morning. But we're not here to discuss that. We are here to discuss talking to men on the internet. Don't do it, folks. But we did talk to a lovely man on the internet. His name was Rickard. And Rickard sent us a mystery box of vintage Lego. It was all the stuff that he didn't want anymore. Now, he sold it to us for 2,000 krona, which is, underneath in terms of your local currencies. Now, we managed to get what we believe is about 30 to 50 minifigs, something like that. We're going to go through that later on as well. But we also managed to get a roughly 10 to 12 kilo big box of unsorted vintage Lego. Now, I'm very excited about that sort of thing. The reason why is because I use two services. One, Brickmonkey, which basically is a subscription service. You take a picture of a minifig, it tells you what set it belongs to. And then I use Brickognize. Now, Brickognize is a free service that you can use on your phone or on a computer, which essentially you take a picture of a part. Let's start again. A free service that you can use on your phone or on a computer, which essentially you take a picture of a part and what sets that part has been into. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my goodness. It's been one of those mornings, I've got to say. And once you know what sets it's been into, it then breaks it down. So if it's let's say it's a 1x8 brick, it will tell you what sets it's been in red, in white, and it'll break it down into color, which is really good. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd use this box and I take all the kind of important elements, weird elements, interesting elements, ones that are more unique than just bricks and plates. And I thought what we'd do is take pictures of them, figure out what sets they belong to, then we'll see if we find any other parts for those sets, and then we'll kind of get an idea of the set list that might be in here so we can start building them up. So the interesting part, the first thing I see is these. So these are the old castle pieces. We've got a few of these. We've got about 6, 7, 8, 9 in there. We've got them in black as well, actually. There's one there. Yeah, there's all sorts of kind of interesting things. Oh, look, that thing. That's another one of them. That's a tail for an aeroplane. I imagine that's reasonably unique, so we'll probably find something with that. I've got some... That's interesting. That's a light grey, an old school light grey Cheshire chest. There's a brown one in here as well. So this is the most common. Everyone would have seen one of these, but I actually don't think I've seen one of these before. That might actually be only in 1 or 2 unique sets. So that's quite interesting as well. So yeah, there's all sorts of bits and pieces in here that I feel like if we go through, start using Brickognize, and hopefully we'll be finding kind of some unique pieces for some unique sets. We'll find some other pieces for that set and then start accumulating all the parts for that set so we can start building and creating some wonderful vintage Lego sets from this box of junk. Right, let's get to it. Well, oh my gosh. So we have managed to accumulate what I think is 82 minifigs plus horses. 82. So what I thought I'd do is we'll have a quick rummage through, really. So we've got your 7 firefighters. We've got 2 of the classic ones who actually have sticker torsos, not printing torsos. So they're really, really old. We've got 7 medical staff, which one doesn't have an actual face, so we might have to replace the head. 3 shell staff, which encouraging because of if you remember the last video, we had that really rare 6x24 red plate. Now I know that's in a shell set, so the fact that we've got some shell people minifigs is really, really useful. Okay, so we've got 4 police, 5 construction. We've got kind of 14, we call them civilians, I guess, but we've got kind of a couple of cowboys, which I know sell for 100 krona each. And then we move on to the spacemen. Right, so this is interesting. So some of these torso printings are, if you remember in the last video, are dodgy and some are really good. Now we've got 6 red, 6 white. 2 of the red, 2 of the white have not so good printing. The rest of them have great printing. We've got the 1 yellow and the 1 blue there. Then we've got some call them civilians. I don't know what you can call them really, but we've got this torso here, which is really interesting because it has the white hands, just like the other, like the color-coded spacemen. So if we have another helmet and some white trousers and a bat thing, we can probably move him over to there to have 7 white spacemen. And then if not, then we've got some workers. Now, I don't know, maybe the workers are going to be useful in some of the sets that we find, but we'll kind of figure that out as we go. Right, we then have 7 white horses, 6 black horses. We've got 5 saddles, 2 blue, 1 white, 1 red and 1 black. Now again, this might be useful at some point, I'm not certain, but then we move on to the knights. Now the knights are really interesting because they've got different printed torsos. There's an awful lot of this type. Again, I don't know the names of them, so we'll figure it out. This looks like a black falcon on the front, and I've heard of black falcons, so in terms of Lego castles, so maybe those are 5 black falcon knights. But essentially, there's an awful lot of knights. And then we move on to the weaponry and all that, and the shields. Lovely printed shields over at the back there. So yeah, we have all sorts of kind of amazing minifigs, which suggests to me one of 2 things. Either this guy who I purchased from has an interest in minifigs and kind of all that sort of stuff, or there's some quality sets in that 10 kilos, which means that a lot of these are going to be allocated to some amazing sets, and we're going to get very lucky. So it's going to be one of those 2. Let's find out. Right, here we go. So I have pulled out all of the elements that I think are kind of either unique or interesting, or I think belong to a particular set. So over here, for example, I'm just creating bags of wheels, which are all the same, which I know, these are the old moon wheels, which I'm aware of, and these I'm sure will be plentifully needed in some of these sets over here. I've got an airliner, aircraft kind of pile. I've got these over here. So this is kind of those old garage door things. I know that because I've just built a few of those sets, and these are garage doors, so those are together. I've got some dark trans blue slopes, and yeah, I'm not sure what that goes on. I thought this was reasonably unique. I'm not sure if anybody's seen this before. This is it's on a hinge, but it's on plates. And there's definitely another one that's supposed to go here. Oh, if we can focus, there we go. So yeah, that's interesting. Obviously, kind of anything window-based that isn't windows, quite interesting. I think these are for the airliner, I'm not certain, but maybe some space stuff. They use those on do you remember those light and sound? I made a video on light and sound. They used a lot of those, so that's possible. These are interesting. So they use these on a lot of space stuff as well, but usually in white. So I'm not sure whether that's a space set or anything. We've got some dishes and all that sort of stuff. I found a claw. I don't know if that's going to be lots of printed elements. I assume that'll be useful at some point, especially this one. That will be fairly unique, I'd imagine. I know these obviously in the old vehicles, although that was in remarkably good condition. Look at that. Wow. The police one, so I'm going to guess that's for that police station there. There we go. Right, so then we move on to these castle pieces. Now, there's a lot of castle pieces. 2, 4, 6, 7 normal, and then 2 with different printing on. So those will be interesting. I'll definitely take pictures of those at some point as well. Then we move on to the shell stuff. So I'm pretty confident this is the shell roof because the other shell parts that are there. We've got some wheels, a lot of kind of old classic castle typeset wheels. We've got the hull for the 4005 boat. Some other kind of bits which I thought might be useful. These are, I don't know if anybody knows these or have seen these before. So this is the spinning plate, but it has the connector on it, so it can connect to other things as well. They're very interesting. I thought this was interesting as well. Let's see if I can focus in on this. So this is on a hinge, but it's not actually on a hinge. It's more on a, I don't know what you'd call it, because this one is actually on a hinge. And this one's not particularly interesting. This is fairly common in vintage sets. But this one, the blue one with the long plate on, I haven't seen a long plate hinge before, not in blue anyway. So that will be fairly unique, I'd imagine. So yeah, this is everything that I've kind of picked out over the last 45 minutes or so. Now I'm going to start taking pictures. So join me as we kind of figure out where, or possibly where, some of these parts come from. Right, so the next job is we have Brickognize open up on the screen here. So next thing we're going to do is hold this part up. We're going to take a picture. And it's found the part already, which is fantastic. So what we do is click on it now and it opens up the Bricklink page for that part, and then we can see that it's in this area here. Items appears in one set. So we click on that, we know it's literally just coming from the one set, which is the jetliner. It has 121 parts, 2 minifigs, set number 6368. So, and now we have a picture of it. We now have the full parts list. And now we can start scanning down the parts list and going through whether we have all the bits or not the bits and all that sort of stuff. So as I kind of scan down, and I'm just having a look through what parts. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab a bag and we're just going to put all of the parts in that that are on this list that we know are going to be needed. How many windows was it? No window pieces? It's got to be some. Ah, there we go. 4 window pieces. So we've got 3. So we know we've got to look for another one. That's got an awful lot of stuff in it. I'm probably just going to put that in for now. That's the tail bit. There's none of those there. Let me just double check. No nose cone. No, so these ones and these ones are not from there. So we can get rid of these, keep the bag. And what I'm going to do is label that bag with the set number. Put those back in the box. So we're going to, the set number was 6368-1. It was called Jetliner, Jet Airliner. And if we go back, we can just see how much they're selling for in Sweden. So there's 2 for sale in Sweden. 1 Manfred shop. I actually have bought from this guy. He's quite nice. 250 krona. So we put 250 in just so as a guideline. Okay, and that's that part, and that's also those pieces. So let's move on to the next piece. Let's go back to Brickognize. And then what we've got is, we're going to go with this piece here. So if we click on the camera at the top, we're back here. We hold that up like that. Let's see whether this works or not. Yeah, straight away, it got it. 1x14 with channel. Excellent. So we open it up, and now we see that appears in 78 sets. Oh, terrific. Okay, so we're gonna scroll down until we find the red section. Can you see here, up here, there's white, then there's black, and then there's red. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sets in red. So there's two things that I decide how I kind of break it down. To start with, I've got 4 of them here, plus 2 garage pieces. So I'm looking for a set that's got 4 of them and 2 garage pieces. So you've got the fire control center, firehouse, fire station, fire station, fire station, flame fighters. So those are the ones with the 4 in the middle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. Now let's break it down into, it's not going to be the 2010 set or the 2007 set, so it's not those. So what else can it be? So let's start. Now I think I just built this one, the fire control center, the other day. So I'm very familiar with this set. And this set has all blue there. So we do have one blue like that, but we don't have any of these ones here. So if we zoom a little bit, these windows here, I know we don't have any of those. And our garage doors are clear, not blue. So it's not going to be that one. So we can take that one off the list. So there's only 3 to break down now. So Firehouse 1 from 1985. Now, this is interesting because that base plate there. See that base plate? That's interesting. Now, it's got those blue windows again, I think. Yeah, but it has got the clear doors, but it's got the clear doors with the blue. Ours doors are with grey. So, probably isn't that one. Let's go out of this. Fire station, 366 parts from 1981. Okay, so this has the same base plate. So when I say base plate, I'm talking about, 1 second. I have this base plate, which came with the parts. And this, you can see, it's got the number 1 on, just like the base plate. This is interesting. It's actually got one of those trees there that I have here as well. So that's interesting. So it's got those. Oh, hang on. 1, 2. Got a better picture. So these, I have these. I've got loads of them actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've actually got 9. And look, so I've got these pieces here, which are these pieces on the rooftop there. And then we have the grey base of the door, just like that. So I think we've found our set. Let's double check the last set quickly, just to make sure we haven't made a mistake. But this was 6382. So this is the only other one it could be. It's the 65. Let's zoom in. It has a very different base plate. So it has green on the outside, this set. And it has white at the bottom of the clear doors, whereas ours has grey. So it's not this set. So it is that previous set. So what we're looking at here is 6382. So that is our set. So what I'm going to do now, grab another bag. And we'll put all of this in. So it's together. So it's got those as well. What else? What other parts are we looking at? 366 parts. So there's quite a lot there. It's a lot of black brick, black plates, some wheels and stuff are for the vehicles, of course. It's got a tree and some shrubbery, the base plates. Yeah. Hose, and naturally quite a lot of red brick and all that sort of stuff. Nothing screaming unique here, so we can certainly, the red turntable, I've seen that in the box. I'm not going to start digging around for it now, but I've seen that, and I've seen that as well. So yeah, I'm fairly confident now. I'm kind of 99% sure that this is our set. Excellent. So anything unique up on the table? So it was 8 of those, was it? Let's put 8 of those in like that. And I think There's nothing on our unique set there. Maybe some printed pieces, but I think we'll knock that one on the head and we'll label that one up as well. Let's do that. Now, in order to label them up, I've got a fairly cheap little label maker that I got from Amazon, a little brother thing, but I've got to say it's really useful. So I just create these tiny little labels really. So nothing important, it just allows me to kind of keep everything in order and labeled, and allows me to not lose my track of thought, because although it seems like I spend most of my life doing Lego stuff, I actually have a proper job and I do tend to forget where I am when it comes to Lego. So 6368 Jet Airline or Airliner, and then we print that off, and then that simply just goes on the bag. Same with this one, 6382. I think it's just called Fire Station. There we go. And then we'll print that one off as well. And then I know what sets to look for and what parts to look for in the box. I can get the set list off of Bricklink and we can start putting all of the parts together, and hopefully we can find all of the bits and start building these sets. Okay, so I thought we'd go with test this one out really, see whether this is something that, so I'm not seeing it in blue, so I'm wondering whether this can pick it up. Oh, Brickognize, well done. Straight away, we have it. Let's click on it, 66 sets, wow, okay. Let's go to the bottom, see how many are in blue. So here we can see there's 2 in blue, actually it's right here at the bottom. So it's hinges and couplings, which it won't be, or the lunar rocket. So this part is only in one set. No wonder. So let's click on it. What are we looking at? 6881 lunar rocket launcher, 90 pieces, 90 parts, from 1984. So this one almost certainly is in this box somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll just take it over to 6881. We'll have a look at the parts there. As we flick through the parts, we'll see, so we've definitely got these wheels, I've seen those, and I've got that blue hinge here, I've seen that in that box as well. We have one of those in red, interesting, or maybe it's supposed to be in blue because it's surrounded by the blue and that's why that's there. Grey rocket pieces, some white, I've got, see, I've seen these as well. So even if I just dig to there, look, I have a white. So this is definitely in here somewhere, I'm sure of it. So that's good news, that's another set found. We're starting to really rack up these sets now, this is great. All right, so after about an hour and a half, I've managed to kind of organize these into some sort of order. Not a big order, not a great order to be honest, but what I've done is anything that has 3 or more unique pieces in one set, I then properly go for it and start labeling up the bags and put it in. So we've got the space supply station. So it had all of those blue stands, I guess. It also had some dishes and all sorts of other bits that we had. So I was pretty confident on the space supply station. Obviously 4005, we've got that, but not the instructions. The Shell service station, again, I was pretty confident about that, and I have seen some other parts around. So we've also got, if we stay in the space theme for a little while, we have the Cosmic Cruiser 6890. We've got all those parts there, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have the rest of them in the box down there. Then we've got the Lunar Rocket Launcher. Again, pretty comfortable that we've got a load of those parts kicking around. What else have we got? All terrain vehicle, another space theme. This is really interesting. The reason why I like this is it's got a completely unique one-of-one yellow windows on blue frame. So that will be really interesting to see how that turns out. I think that's everything for the space theme. Oh, we've got a space digger as well. Now, again, I was pretty confident about these because it had the, it's very difficult to show you, but these grey kind of jet type things, they put those on a lot of space sets from the vintage 80s era. Right, so there's a lot of castle stuff. So around in the instructions, there were several castle things, and then we had a lot more. So we've got an armor shop here. Now, I was pretty confident about this one because of the slope. It has a 2x8 red slope, and that was only in 2 sets. And one of the sets we didn't have any of the pieces for, and the other set was the armor shop, which we have the castle pieces for. So pretty confident about that one. A blacksmith, same again, castle pieces, red slope, and wheels and all sorts. So pretty confident about that one. The prisoner convoy. This has the, now we might have 2 of these, I'm not certain, because we've got leftovers. We've got more black, we've got more grey, and we've got this one here, which has printing on, which that one could possibly belong to, I think it's called the battering ram, but I'm almost certain that we'll have those as well. Then we've got the classic fire station, loads of bits for that one that we found like that, so that was really good. The jet airliner and the police HQ there. So these are all the bits that we found in about an hour and a half to kind of guarantee that we have those sets in place. So I just want to take you through the figures, not because I want to sell them or not because I'm encouraging anyone to sell their Lego, but what I want to do is just show you that there's value in it. If you want a Lego hobby, quite possibly maybe buying brand new sets at extortionate prices from the Lego group is not the way to do it. Excuse me. So as I said before, I got all of this Lego for 2,000 krona. Now, let me just take you through what sets I've managed to get and the prices for them. So in terms of instructions, so we ended up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 instruction manuals with parts. And I believe going on Bricklink, looking at the cheapest one on Bricklink and then putting those together, that's 4,900 krona for all of the instruction sets. And then if you have a look for all of the sets that I'm finding at the moment and combining them, as long as all the parts are here, of course, there's always that if, buts and maybes. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 so far here. And that's not including the possible duplicates of the armor shop and maybe the battering ram, which I haven't actually added into these bags yet because I want to go and source a bit more after this video. The total number for those sets, the total Bricklink value is 6,100, which totals 11,000 krona. Now, that's not including any of the minifigs or the horses. Now, I imagine a lot of those are going to end up in these sets anyway, so there might not be an awful lot left over. But what it does show you is that my Lego hobby, although it's vintage and vintage isn't for everyone and everyone likes the hyper-realism display sets and all that sort of stuff, I get that. But if you want to build Lego, you can buy a 2,000 krona box and you can sell it for 11,000 krona if you want to. It's very simple. It takes a morning of your time, or of course, if you go to work, then you can come and do it in the evening, or just the same time you're going to do your other hobbies or your other building. Kind of sort a box of Lego out, get it all organised, put it on Bricklink, sell it off, make yourself some money. I think it's a It's a great way to spend some time. What it's doing is also bringing the Lego back to life. This box could have ended up, you can't see it, but I'll put it up here. This box here could have ended up in the bin, in a skip, in anywhere, and that would have been all of these sets gone forever. And what I have a little bit of pride in, but certainly a lot of enjoyment in, is bringing these sets back to life. So I just cannot encourage anybody enough, go and build, go and buy a box of old Lego from the classifieds, use kind of all of the apps and all of the websites and everything at your disposal to put these sets back together and either have them on display or sell them on Bricklink or do whatever you want with them. But I think it's just it's a wonderful way to spend some time. Anyway, right, what I'm going to do next, source all the parts for all of these sets. So there's an awful lot of sets, an awful lot of parts to find. We're going to do all of that. We're going to build all of them, and then we're going to come back for part 3 of this series and show you all of the sets that we managed to get. And then I'll let you know what's going on Bricklink, what's staying with me, and show you all of these amazing sets in completion. Right, thank you so much for watching. If you want to buy any vintage Lego, we've got a Bricklink store. Have a look at the links in the description. Have a look on there, see if there's anything you fancy. If you enjoy the content, please consider hitting subscribe and the notification bell so you know when the next videos drop. And leave a like, that really helps. That's the one thing I would ask you to do. If you could just like the video, that means that other people will find the video and the algorithm allows other people to see the video. And we just start sharing the love of vintage Lego with more and more people. That'd be brilliant. Right, until the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care.